finally understanding what frame is, or why you shouldn't let the world tell you who you are. Frame has been a concept I've heard about for many years on different sites like Reddit or YouTube. This idea of frame, pulling people into your frame, having this setup of your frame. And I never really understood what it meant. Whenever I saw a post saying that you have to bring people into your frame, I just didn't, it didn't make sense to me. It didn't click. But recently, or actually probably a few months ago, is when I think I really started to get it a little bit, to understand what people were talking about when they said frame. And I came to this realization that it's about this idea of not letting the world tell you who you are, how you should act, what you have to do, and just the kind of person that you are. And I realized this because I would consider myself like a friendly person who tries to, be nice, kind, interact, just be positive with other people, to be encouraging with my friends, to, just someone who goes out of their way to kind of be kind or do things that they think might help the other person feel better, or just be of some service to other people. I would consider myself that kind of person. And I realized that many times, especially in high school or college, there were many times where, even though I would consider that a core part of my identity, that there were times where I didn't act in accordance to that. And it would often be as a result of a certain negative response I would get from a behavior. And it would usually only be one thing, but I would try to be very friendly with someone. It wouldn't work out, and then I would be like, oh, like, I shouldn't act like this. I got a bad response, so let me be kind of more serious, closed off, standoffish. And that happened many times, and it would usually be on a day-to-day basis, where it's like, oh, get a positive response this day, let me keep doing that behavior. I got a negative response the next day. That's why I should, have a closed off interaction. That's why I'm starting to get over this idea of really caring how the world responds to you, because the way the world responds to you differs every single day. I've had many days where, someone will do something, they'll say something to me, and I'll feel like, oh snap, I guess the way I was operating is actually positive, it is actually good, if it's resulting in benefits. Like, sometimes I remember this one text over the summer that I got, where someone was like, oh, was just thinking about you, how great of a friend you are, like, how are you doing? And this is the perfect epitome of, something like, of this kind of scenario. And then I was like, oh, in my head, I was like, oh snap, I guess the way I'm approaching things and treating other people has been, fruitful, beneficial. It's working out for me. I'm getting positive responses. So, so I felt really good about myself. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to keep acting the way I do. And then with that same person, a few hours later, I texted them. I was like, oh, like, I appreciate that. Like, like, let's hang out soon. Then didn't hear back from that person for, like, a couple of days. And then the response was kind of seemingly like not being like, oh, it kind of seemed like a no without saying no, uh, in response to me asking to hang out. And, you know, I mean, I still have a lot of love for that person, still friends with them to this day. I don't take that situation like super personally. I really don't, because, you know, we've all acted in, like, we've all probably done that to other people as well. And it's not a big deal at all, but it was just an example of having a situation like that. And then after I didn't get that response, I was kind of like, oh snap, I guess what I'm doing hasn't been that fruitful, hasn't been that good. Maybe I should change my approach. And yeah, it's why I'm like not trying to attach myself to how people respond, because the way people respond to you is different every day. Some days people will really be jiving with you and you'll think, oh, like I'm like, I guess the way I'm doing things is really good, I should keep being my way. And then another day people won't be receptive, and you'll feel like, oh, I guess my current approach, my current way of living life is a mistake. And before I would switch up every single day, I would be you know, super friendly the days when I would get the positive response, and then the days when I would get a negative response, I would be closed off. And it's just not a good way to live life, because first you lose your sense of identity a little bit, and then you're not really aligning yourself with who you actually are. And I think that's been a major realization for me, is when it comes to Frame, is that Frame is not letting, again, it's not letting the world tell you who you are. And I just had this realization of, okay, am I going to let other people, just because they didn't respond to me the way I wanted to, tell me that, no, Jack, you're not actually a friendly person, you're not actually a nice person, you're not a kind person, you are the type of person who will change yourself to adapt in whatever situation. And that would be fine if it was like for the greater good or for my ability to navigate those scenarios. But I realized I was just operating that way out of fear of those negative responses, out of those hurt feelings of rejection, things like that. And you know, it's just a frustrating way to live life, because then you're not authentically being who you are. I'm the type of person, if I go outside and see someone, I will smile at them, I will offer to help people. And I'm not saying that, you know, makes me like some great guy. That's just those are the values I have. That's the stuff that I do that makes me happy. But am I going to not do the stuff that makes me happy and that could potentially help someone else, just because someone, like some random person I tried to help out, like cursed me out or was like mean to me or rude to me? No, because then I'm giving that one person the whole power to decide, okay, not only are they going to make me feel bad, but now they've shifted me from living in a way that's authentic to me and that makes me happy, and now I'm just not going to let myself be happy. I'm not going to let myself be happy, because now I'm closed off. I don't want to interact with people. I'm standoffish. So now I feel bad. But now any potential good I could have done someone else just by smiling at them, by offering a helping hand, by just being there for them, I decide, no, let me not do that. Let me not provide any of the potential good that I could have, just because I got this one negative response from another person. And this is what I mean by letting the world tell you who you are. I will not let other people decide the kind of person I am. I'm very thankful that I think I'm pretty close to knowing what kind of person I am, what my values are, what I really care about. And I'm just not gonna let other people I don't know, other people who I have no reason to respect or default to their way of thinking decide what kind of person I am. And that's really what Frame is. It's believing yourself to be a certain way and behaving that way no matter how people respond to you. It's believing that I am a super confident, capable, competent, just all around sick dude. And just because that girl, even though that girl like I talked to rejected me, that doesn't change anything. I'm still the same person. You're still the same person regardless of how the world responds to you. That is what Frame is. Sticking true to your values. And obviously we should adjust and change and mature, but I think that's what it is. Just knowing who you are, acting that way regardless of the way the world responds to you. Because some days the response is going to be negative, other days the response is going to be positive. But if you live your life in a way where you switch constantly just to adjust to what you think people want or what the world is making you feel like you should do, you're just going to drive yourself crazy, like I have many, many times before. So that's all I wanted to say in this video. Know who you are, decide the kind of person who you want to be, and be that kind of person regardless of how people respond to you. Just be who you are, because then you're living authentically you're authentically aligned with who you are. And then even if people do like it, then awesome, that's a bonus. If people don't like it, then you don't care, because bro, I'm still doing the things that make me happy anyway. So that's all I want to say in this video. Hope this was helpful. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.